Hello, hello. I am keeping the totems to very simple this week. We have this ammonite fossilized snail shell crystal and a little dragon on board. And we have this Melissa roller and a very beautiful grounding jasper stone. And the reason I'm keeping it simple is that I, for one, am deeply in the midst of an energy hangover, and this reading that has come up is very, very appropriate to the energy right now. And we had that first eclipse, so we're right in the middle this week of two eclipses. And the first eclipse was last Friday. We'll have our next eclipse late next week. And this week we have the first quarter moon, no, the last quarter moon. So we're in a waning cycle. We've gone from the full moon and we're heading towards the new moon. So we're still in the midst of super duper retrograde spaces. We are, beside being in eclipse season, we have now got Mercury retrograde as well as Venus retrograde. We still have Mars in his shadow in Cancer. File that for when I go into the reading, because he's direct again, but he's still in the sign of Cancer, not yet back into Leo, and Cancer is a nurturing sign. And at the end of this month, so the end, it's coming closer to that, obviously every day, we have Neptune moving into Aries. And this week is also the Aries Equinox, so that is when the sun hits 0 degrees of Aries and we move out of predominantly Pisces season into Aries season, which is very, very loud this year, this month. And this is the equinox points and solstice points are always big, and they give us a forecast for the next season or the next 3 months. But this one's a doozy. So let's jump in, and that is happening this week. So let's jump into the reading. Remember to pick a card between 1 and 4. It's not a personalized reading, but if you pick a number, that's going to give you a slightly more personalized focus. If you're looking for a reading to be done specifically for you, please do get in touch. Okay, let's jump in. There are our 4 cards, and we also have a dragon card, which I'll get to in a moment. And you'll notice mostly everything is upright besides this 10 of swords, and we've got swords represented, pentacles represented, cups represented, no wands in this particular reading. Okay, so the 10, our only upside down card for the month. This is a really gentle, beautiful 10 of swords rendition where there is this woman in the state of acceptance as she walks away into the sunset, into the sunrise, you decide. And you can see that all of the ravens are heading in the direction that she is. The stance of her body is fairly relaxed, and it's kind of like this level of acceptance. However, remembering that we got it upside down, so there is definitely a resistance to the loss that you're experiencing, we're experiencing collectively. So in a big way, or in your own environment, whatever there is that you know that it's time to walk away from, because this card was upside down, we're saying, well, what's the resistance? What am I refusing to let go of, refusing to walk away from? Where is that grief that is holding me back? Why am I struggling to let go of something? So this is a bit like a rock bottom place where there's maybe been some devastating loss, or there's a resistance to recovery, because recovery means processing some deep things, and maybe there's a resistance to that, because this is an air card, the 10 of swords. So we're up in our head trying to tell ourselves a different story, trying to cling to an old story, but we don't want to go into the deep emotional feelings and healings, which ironically is really going to come to us here when we look at the 10 of cups, the king of cups, sorry. Traditionally speaking, the 10 of swords is a man lying on his front with 10 swords jabbed in his back. So there is this tendency to feel like it would have taken a lot of stabs in the back, maybe by multiple people, to be able to reach the point of walking away. And especially because we got this upside down today, which is why I really want to mention that. Look at how many times you've been knocked down by the same thing that you are still resisting walking away from. How many times have you hit the same wall? How many times have you been punched in the gut? How many times have you been stabbed in the back in the context of whatever it is that you are vehemently resisting letting go of? Because when we start to look at the big picture and realize, this is no longer serving me, this is not, maybe, in fact, I'm willing to bet with whatever this is for you right now, it hasn't been working for a while, but there's that resistance to shift. But I love how the Ten of Swords leads us straight into the Fool, our one major arcana card for the week, because the Fool is the first card, the 0 card, the 0 point, the seed point of this new beginning. And she is about to fall completely backwards into this abyss, into this beautiful sacred geometric shape that will just catch her. She has nothing but a staff and a crystal in her hand and absolute pure faith that she's going to figure it out. She's on a journey. She doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know where she's going. She may just die when she falls backwards into this abyss, but she may not. And what she's basically going to go and begin and embark on this journey to find out that everything that she needs is within her. All the tools that she needs are within her. And she had to walk away. So the resistance in the 10 is also obviously slowing down the process. And if we put these two cards together beautifully like that, look how the birds are flying into the staff. It's as if the wisdom of our higher mind is flying into the staff, which is like a magical tool, a talisman for her that will lead her on her way, that will support her as she walks. So you can see, and then through that, you can see the energy continuing to flow. I love when this particular deck is so great for looking at energy flow. Then it flows through her staff, into her arm, through her heart chakra, out through her other arm in the crystal. It goes up, it goes down, it feeds into all these spaces, and it flows into the 6 of Pentacles, which is a reciprocity card. You can see it's 2 different hands. There's that infinity energy, infinity symbol you can see in the backdrop of this card. And the one is passing to the other, and the other is open to receive. And it's about that balance that we need to find. So as we embark on this Fool's journey, which is an unknown space, because we've left what was known. And remember, our brains are really hell-bent on holding on to what's known, even if it's a negative pattern for us. Known is, we are biologically wired in our brains to believe that known is safer. Even if known is dangerous, it is safer than unknown. So walking away from something, and that's why there's the resistance to it, but once we walk away from it and allow ourselves to trust in this new journey and flow and trust, fall, and surrender, which is very Piscean type of thing, just surrender to the process and the journey, then we have to know that there's going to be this process of reciprocity. There will be times where you will be giving of yourself and times where you will be receiving. And both of those are important, necessary, and depending on your personality, you might find one is a lot easier for you than the other. For most of us, that's the case. Or you might find that there are certain relationships or dynamics where you're a really good giver, not a good receiver, and others where you're the opposite. But how do I bring that balance into every interaction? How do I bring that balance into every day? And when I say that, I mean in the bigger picture of it, because there will be days where you will be down and out and you just need somebody to come and hold and support you in whatever way that is. And you are not in that moment beholden to give straight back to them. That's not how it works. It doesn't have to be in every single interaction. I give you 1 cup of sugar and you give me 1 cup of sugar right back. It's not that. But overall, it can't always be taking from the same dynamic or giving to the same dynamic. And then we meet this beautiful King of Cups, and he speaks so much to the emotional maturity, the emotional intelligence, the emotional integrity. He is wise, he is nurturing. So I come right back to that Mars in Cancer. The Cancer is the sign of the mother, the nurturer. And look, we even have, oh no, that's a fish. I thought that was a crab, sorry. We have this man that is very compassionate and caring and nurturing. And that brings in this balance again, this balance of reciprocity between the internal masculine and feminine within each one of us, between the masculine feminine dynamic within each one of your relationships. And remember, when I say masculine and feminine, it's kind of that divine masculine, sacred feminine. It's not about gender. It's about the part of you that is more yang, masculine, assertive, go out and get what I want, versus the part of you that is more yin, feminine, creative, sit there and attract what I want. We all have both of those things. And within any relationship, irrespective of whether it is a mother-daughter relationship or a mother and son relationship or a spousal relationship, heterosexual or otherwise, there is a dynamic within you that holds both of those energies and within the other that holds both of those energies. And our next eclipse next week is in Aries, which is very much the yang energy or the masculine energy. And right now we're in this swirling still of the Piscean, more feminine space. And so the dynamic between these two right now is really, really powerful, as well as the I, Aries, and the us, the collective, Pisces. So we are feeling this in a personal capacity versus the whole group, the collective. We are feeling this as in the masculine and the feminine, which is more a kind of a one-on-one dynamic. So there's a lot of complexity to this and a lot of emotional intelligence required. And from an energy perspective, he is radiating, look at that energy radiating from his heart center all around him. And he's got like it's like he's scrying in that bowl of water. He's tuning in with his eyes closed to what is it that I can tell without using my eyes or my practical senses, more pentacles, so that I can be intuitive, so that I can tune into what is right for me, but not at the expense of others. I mean, sometimes when we make choices, obviously other people may get hurt or may be upset by things, but intentionally doing things to hurt others is more of an issue. So it's like, how do I stay as true to myself as I can with an awareness of others and trying to not hurt anyone along the way? And the starfish linking to dreaming, and the sailboat linking to finding that new path. And even there's that continual flow. Look there, rolling through. It does this loop and radiates out into the future where that sailboat is heading off. So this is a very good week for integration. I mean, I'm saying integration, but we're still right in the midst of it. But if you can try to do a little bit of integration as you move through this week, in order to, particularly depending on what your card was that you chose, that will be the stronger area of integration for you as we move into this next week, into that next eclipse. And then our dragon that's come up this week is the golden silver violet flame dragon. Again, transformation always with that butterfly. Gold, the energy of the sun or the yang. Silver, the energy of the moon or the yin energy. Violet flame is bringing in this collective, the union almost of masculine, feminine, the divine union, and therefore the creation. Because within the divine union of yin and yang, we create a new energy, just like we create a literal child. We can create a literal child with a sperm and an egg. We are creating that energetically and in an alchemical way. And very much the next card to the full card is the Magician, which is that alchemical, taking what you have and creating something more with it, transforming, transmuting, as it says here. Transmutes the old around with the wisdom and with around you with wisdom and grace. It's time for transmutation, magic, and healing. Offer service under grace. And that last statement, offer service under grace, is we had that Virgo eclipse last week, and we're in Pisces season. Offer service, that's a Virgo word. Under grace, that's a Pisces word. So it's a beautiful dragon to support us as we move through this next week. And I may stand to be corrected, but I think it's a 5th dimensional dragon, which is, last week we had a 4th dimensional dragon, I think, and now we're in a 5th dimensional dragon. So it is kind of going to this finer frequency, finer as in like higher, lighter, a little bit harder to feel tangibly like than our dragon last week. So you have to stop, you have to meditate, you have to tune in, and you can send golden, silver, flame, violet flame dragons anywhere that needs healing, transmutation, and change. So stop, tune in, have a little meditation, and send these dragons around the world. Send them to people you love, send them to people you don't love, and see if you can share by changing the frequency and being of service. Offer service under grace. I hope this weekly reading has been helpful, and thanks for all your likes, shares, follows, subscribes. See you again next week.